Hi everybody, it's EK from EK Gorman Designs, and I am coming in today with an art ball tutorial, tips and techniques tutorial, and I'm doing a little copic coloring on this image 428 Aries. It's March, and it's that time of year where it is the astrological sign of Aries, so I thought it might be fun if I pull up this new image from from Oddball and color it in using my copic markers. Um, I thought a night sky would be really fun, and to show how I would get like a glow off the moon would be kind of fun to do. So I started off by coloring the internal image because, yeah, it's hard to rate exactly how you want the glow to go if it's not, what's glowing isn't already showing up. And I went with just kind of a simple skin tone palette, but I really wanted that skin tone to look like it glowed. So I went a little bit lighter than I might naturally have gone because I wanted that skin to really pop. And then I added in this fun teal color because it felt like the right color. I will tell you, I missed her arm, the sleeve of her arm holding the ram, but as I come to the end of it, I'll catch up. So for those of you who are panicking that I haven't colored the arm, it's coming, don't worry. Uh, Anybody else out there, this is my question for you, find a hard combination for teals? I'm still looking for the right combination of colors with my Copics to get a really good teal. I think this is about as good as I've come. There you go, I'm getting the sleeve. Everybody stop panicking. But no, I'm still looking for like the right combination of colors to make a teal that feels very teal. This one I think gets a little green or blue heavy. I don't know. I don't know. I don't dislike it. I just don't love it. Uh, the areas where I colored yellow, I will tell you right now, it was all very fine, detailed areas, and it's just two colors, and I never did end up happy with this. But at the end of the card, I found a way to solve my star and Aries problem, and you'll see at the end, but I used glitter instead of yellow to make it pop. Now for the moon, I wanted to do a different combination. Like, I debated, like, there was this long, like, do I have a gray moon? Do I have a yellow moon? Do I have a light blue moon? And none of those felt right. Like, none of them felt organic enough because the moon really isn't blue or gray or certainly not yellow. So I kind of pulled out a weird combination of colors to see if I could get a moon that felt organically a little more realistic. Is not the word I want here, but realistic for lack of a better word. So I pulled out my blue-green 90, which is this really washed out, grayishy, greeny, I mean, it's a weird color to begin with, and laid that as the foundation for the moon, and then threw in some B12 to give it a nice pop of blue, and then pulled out my N2 and N0 to gray out the moon, and then it got too gray and the blue stood out too weirdly, so I pulled out the B double zero or triple zero. Yeah, it's triple zero because my double zero is broken, and filled it in with some of that light blue, and then went back over it again, all with that weird gray color, and wasn't exactly happy with the moon, but also knew that when I laid some really dark colors around it, it might do exactly what I wanted it to do. So there was a leap of faith right here, because I'm looking at it going, it's really splotchy. Should I start over? I think I should start over. And I just kept it and went with it and like plowed through. And in the plowing through, and when I get the night sky up, the moon sings to me in such a, again, for lack of a better word, realistic way. Uh, you're gonna have to bear with me. My kids are on spring break right now, so I'm up incredibly early to do this voiceover so that nobody's asking for a snack. Because if I did this while my children were awake, somebody would inevitably come in and ask if there was food in the house, despite an entire kitchen full of food. And apparently, when you make voiceovers at 5 in the morning, you end up doing voices that aren't necessarily something people are used to hearing. I do voices all the time. I should probably do them more often just because I find them amusing. I'm sure nobody else in the world finds them amusing, but they amuse me. I embarrass the snot out of my kids on almost a daily basis by doing all the voices. Yeah, I'm a quirk. For those of you who haven't figured it out, I'm I try to play straight man. It doesn't happen. I'm not one. I am a goof and a quirk and a little weird. And as I've always told my children, you gotta own it. Like, I own being weird. I own being corny. It's fine. It's fine. So I'm coming in and doing the hair. And again, I wanted to keep things simple. And I thought, oh, I'll be really nice. I'll zoom in so people can see how I'm kind of flicking in the hair. And then my giant mitt's in the way. So ignore my giant hand allowing you from seeing everything. Because apparently I didn't think this through. I've got to get better at holding my marker so you can actually see me color. I apologize. I'm trying. I'm learning. I swear. I tend to color completely upright, and that just isn't conducive for filming. Like I said, I'm learning. So for the night sky today, I decided to go with a combination of B30s. So I've got the B32, the B34, the 37, and the 39 because they blend like butter. But I forgot when I colored this whole thing in that my B34 is drier than doornail. Yeah. I was like, no, I got a new refill and I'm good. I should be able to use these combinations. Yeah, I got the refill in for 32. So 32 is nice and juicy and fills in quite beautifully. The 34, you will see, doesn't work. But I will tell you right now, for somehow, by the grace of the gods above, I was able to use that incredibly dry 34 and make it work. I do not fill in the entire card with the 32 because it seems like a waste of ink to me. I know where I want things dark, and I just let the dark be what saturates the ink. And here's me going dark. You'll learn I don't like drawing on my blackboard, so I pulled out a piece of paper, because when I go heavy with the backgrounds, I tend to bleed a little bit more than I do when I do, like, simple skin or hair. I don't bleed as much there, and I don't need the absorption paper. Here, I'm going to need the piece of white, or the piece of spare paper underneath to help absorb color. So here's me trying to get the dark edges, and like I said, the glow is off the moon, not her, but I want her to glow all in itself. So the moon's what I'm acting as my light source. And of course the moon's all around her, so thus my light source is kind of funny. This isn't realistic, guys. If you were to put a girl on the moon, she'd be lit probably differently than the way I've got her lit. This is fantasy, so we're going to allow me to have certain liberties here. And I decided the stars were going to be independent of their own glow and not, because like initially when I colored them in, I wanted the stars to have the little like halo of glow. No, in the end they got surrounded by dark color just like her, because again, using that dark blue is going to really help her skin sing, and you can even start to see right now with still weird patches of light around her, her skin starting to pop because of that dark color. I love creating completely dark backgrounds with my markers because when you surround light coloring with dark coloring, that light coloring, no matter how bad it might be, ends up being gorgeous because those dark colors just help those light ones. Yeah, it's just something special. So the marker seems okay right here. Like, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be able to get this through. I'm gonna get. Oh no, maybe not. Maybe it's not going to work. The marker's too dry. In fact, I pause here in just a second to be like, okay, I'll refill it. Because I've got a new. No, I don't. This is it. This is all I have. This marker's so dry that by the time I'm done doing this, my marker tip is white because there's no color left in it. I kind of secretly hoped I could use the B32 to like fill it in and call it done. No, I could not. No, absolutely not. It's too light, and there's just not another color like a B34 that's close enough that I could have used that I own. I don't have a full set. I'd love a full set. If anybody'd like to buy me a full set, I'd fill in the rest of my copics. Great, I'll accept it. Otherwise, I don't have one. And so I find every once in a while there are gaps in my coloring world, and you'll just have to accept that. And apparently the B34 is the only color I have that allows me to do what I want to do. Now, I know I've done a night sky before on a tips and tutorial for Oddball, But that one was a really green, like hazy zombie sky, because there's a difference between a zombie sky and a nice, crisp, clean moon sky. So, same principles, different theories. Here's where I take that, my jelly pen, my jelly roll pen, and this is my glittery stardust one, and I go back in and add glitter to anything that's got yellow on it, and then I added a little in her eyes and a little on the feather, because, you know, she's sitting on a moon, she should sparkle and twinkle. But that gel pen for me was able to really create, it gave the stars a little bling, for lack, yeah, bling, it blinged them out. In the coloring of darkness around everything, I lost some of my lines, so I pulled out a 0.1 micro pen, and redrew kind of back into the details on the feather, and added back in the details on the crystals and her nightgown. And while the sky looks a little blotchy at the moment and uneven, I solved that by taking my white gel pen and adding stars to the entire sky. And by disrupting the stars, by adding the stars, it disrupts the blue background and helps, I don't know, uniform the transitions in color. Especially since that one marker was so dry. Yeah, it just kind of helps the flow and evenness of the color. Of course, I'm sitting here looking at this being like, it doesn't help it at all, or it's still very blotchy. But, oh well. Let's be honest. You do what you can do, and then you move on. But I don't know, I like the twinkle of the stars in the sky. The last thing I did is I took my Spectrum Noir sparkle pen and added all kinds of subtle sparkles to the moon, because it should twinkle. And there it is. You can see the little bit of reflections and sparkles from the the pens on that angle. And there we go. There's my final fully colored night copic colored card. Thanks for joining me today. If you like what you're seeing, click the dragon. That will subscribe you to my channel. There's a couple extra videos of other things I've done. If you want to see more coloring tutorials like this, click the thumbs up button so I know you're enjoying what you're seeing. Thanks for stopping by today. Bye.